All right, so were these people given enough warning is our first question. I just want to give you guys some context here. The siren system was never activated, okay? The fire hydrants the fire people had were running out of water. They were spurting out. It could have been a result of drought. The phone, the TV, and the radio alerts were sent, but many didn't get them because a lot of people don't get cable, and their cell phones were out. And finally, the big one is Hawaiian Electric never deployed the public power shutoff plan, which would have reduced sparks coming from all of those power lines. People are now suing them because they should have maybe to prevent. What do we all think about all of these things that could have prevented or helped at least save some lives?
I think we should start with, like, you know, there's 96 people dead, right?
Yeah.
And they're in a horrific situation in that area of the island. And I think we need to focus on that. We jump right away to people being litigious, and then it makes me feel a different way, right? So I want to focus on the people who are dead, the people who are missing, the future people that are going to pass away, because this is a huge tragedy. But this is Mother Nature. This is an island. This is what happens on hurricanes. We're like, wow, it's another hurricane in Florida? Yeah. Because it happens every year. I understand the climate change argument. Totally get it. That's fine. But you can't sue people because of Mother Nature and everything didn't go the way. This is a huge tragedy, a natural tragedy that I'm sure they did their best. If they could have prevented less deaths, they would have. To sue somebody over that, that's where the story gets a little gray for me.
What about the idea that power lines should have been shut off? Could you see that being something that would have saved your home, maybe, possibly, or a family member?
I think it might be too early to tell, like just who or what might be at fault. But when anyone launches or decides to maybe highlight someone via a lawsuit, there might be some legs behind that. And I understand what Jeff's saying. I remember my husband and I had a whole falling out about liability because something happened to me, and as a result, and he was like, we don't sue. And I've never sued anyone ever, but now, like, our kid might not be able to spend like 2 years in college because of that, you know? So it's like, when someone's neglectful or liable for something, then that just is what it is. But I don't know if it's too soon to tell.
Okay, that's fair. Let's get to this, Al, if it's too soon to tell or not. But I wonder if you've lost your home, if you feel the same way, or a love member.
I spent a lot of time in the islands, and I feel like we here on the mainland, we can have a lot of thoughts about like what should have happened, but when you go to these islands, it's very different. The infrastructure is different. The laws are different. The way that people react to emergencies is different. And I'm not saying that there was not a set of things in place for these things to take place, but there's a reason they call it island time. There's a reason that they moved it the way that they do. There's an absolute sadness that comes over me because I think that we're going to start talking about money and rather the fact that these people have lost everything that they know and maybe for the foreseeable future. I just think when you spend some time on the island, you can understand why maybe everything wasn't absolutely up to code. I'm telling you, somebody's been to Jamaica 50, 60 times. I understand on paper how things should work. That's not how it works. I'm just telling you it's not.
I got you.
I wish I was wrong.
I hear that. I hear that. Well, stars are helping lead the way trying to help fire victims. Both Oprah and The Rock posted videos to their Instagram accounts. We're going to take a look at both of them. Take a look at this.
At some point, I will make a major donation after all of the smoke and ashes have settled here and we figure out what the rebuilding is going to look like. This is going to be a long and difficult process.
Everything that I've seen transpire over these past couple of days, everything that continues to transpire hour by hour, minute by minute, it's all heartbreaking. Thank you guys around the world for all of your love and your support, your light, your prayers. Thank you for sending them to the islands of Hawaii.
Meantime, Jason Momoa, who is from Hawaii, is telling tourists to stay away from the island. He says residents need time to heal, to grieve, to restore, and he also said not to book a hotel stay, as many as those rooms are now being given to residents who lost their homes. Nonetheless, there are still tourists on the island, and some are calling them out, like this boat full of folks snorkeling on Maui, despite the fires. What do we think of all this? I also want to bring up, there's an elephant in the pop culture room. We have Paris Hilton on her social media accounts posted pictures of herself in Wailea. Of course, her family has hotels in Wailea. I'm not sure if we have those pictures.
I think she posted pictures of her in Greece, and then paparazzi or whoever found her on the island.
But
So she wasn't promoting being there, but she was there allegedly.
Allegedly,
yes.
gotcha. What do we think about people spending their tourist dollars there when some parts of the islands are untouched and they need tourist revenue in some ways? How do you feel about that?
I think it's very difficult to get everyone on the same page in good times. So the fact that this isn't a time of tragedy, it becomes exponentially greater because everyone's needs are so diverse. Like for everyone who's saying don't go, there are people there who are like, well, my business was untouched. I still have to feed my family.
Right,
there are people here who are willing to spend money with me.
Right.
Do I tell them no? You know, like, those are very personal decisions. I'm certainly not going to make that decision for what's happening, you know, in Maui right now. So, but do we indict people because they've made those decisions? Like, maybe there are some people who have been in a position where they're still able to make money. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah, like the place I went to honeymoon sent out a big instrument. They're like, we're still open. Like, maybe, you know, like, please, they need that to survive.
I mean, remember after Katrina, they asked people to come to New Orleans and spend their money. Post 9/11, people said, go to New York, spend your money. Let's get back to our normal lives. So I'm not saying shout out to Jason Momoa for all he's doing, but he's not in the same financial position as somebody that has a small business on the island, even though he may and definitely means well.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't know everybody's situation. So, like, Jeff, I've been thinking about it since you said it, it's very easy for you to lose, you know, a foothold in the social conscience of where to vacation. Vacation spots move about what's the hot spot to go.
Right.
And if people don't go to Maui for 2 years, it's going to be the next Turks and Caicos or somewhere else. There's always an island somewhere.
Right.
So
What's wrong with Turks and Caicos?
What?
No, it'll be the next hot spot.
He was giving it props.
Yeah,
Turks and Caicos
You
is,
like Turks and Caicos.
if you don't like Turks and Caicos,
Something's wrong
There's
with you.
something really wrong with you. That place is gorgeous. But yeah, but that's to my point. There's always a new island on the come up, and you don't want to be like, oh, remember people used to go to Maui all the time?
Yeah, and once it goes out of your mindset, you might not go back there. Listen, I totally agree with you. Jason Momoa means well. The Rock means well. Oprah means well. They're not the tourism department. What does the tourism department of Hawaii say? We haven't even checked on that. We look to celebrities to be the voice and leadership of our nation. They're not. I'm sorry, I love Game of Thrones. Jason Momoa doesn't know how to run the country or Hawaii. And I love him. I love him. I'm not trying to disparage him in any way. Why don't we have the facts of what the tourism department says? The locals are going to help locals. If you're a business and your friend's restaurant burned down and yours is still open, guess who's going to be there? The Rock is going to leave eventually. Oprah's going to leave eventually, even though she lives there. But you know what I mean? These voices on the internet are going to leave eventually. They're going to be another tragedy that they're going to focus on. Ukraine, whatever it may be. The locals are there to build each other. So why wouldn't you go and support those locals? But I also see the other side.
Yeah, and also just to clarify, because Jason Momoa said specifically West Maui. Don't come to West Maui. So I guess that is being a little bit more specific.
Exactly. We need to be more specific in how we announce that as well. And so to see.
Coordinate with the tourism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But maybe
one
go
message,
together.
yeah.
One message altogether. You're right. All right. If you do want to help, scan the QR code with your phone. It will bring you to the Hawaii Community Foundation, where they've created a Maui Strong Fund. All donations will be distributed for community needs. We'll be right back.
DBL, this show is amazing.
There's a lot going on down here.
I would have been part of the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
So on point. But I'm going to have a conversation about what's happening now.
Are we on? All right. It's, you know, another day, another camera technique. Ira's behind the camera today, guys. And sometimes you get the countdown. Ira just kind of hovers the camera in front of you like your uncle in like '86, when there was only just like one uncle that had a video camera, and people like remember when people didn't like? Bert, do you remember when people didn't like being on camera? Do you remember when people? regular people didn't like being on camera. It was. They said that they couldn't redo The Office because part of The Office was them kind of in the corner, uncomfortable being filmed. But that wouldn't make sense now, because now when you see even people get interviewed on the news, they're very savvy and like they explain things well. Everybody's like a professional, except for you. You don't like being on camera.
No.
Even though you're directing
Get that
the
away
camera
from me.
now.
No.
I have never been to. I once went to, I say, Aruba, and I was lucky enough to go. I did not know, because I don't know geography, that it was right on the equator.
Yeah.
That means the sun is much stronger.
The sun is the mayor.
It is. I am not kidding. Yeah. My friend and I went. She is deeply olive-skinned.
Yeah.
She received third-degree burns, blisters that popped. It was horrific.
It's beautiful, but just like
Aruba. We didn't just know where you are in occasion to the equator because we were sitting on it, and I was not aware.
You know, for me,
like
I didn't
idiot.
realize Argentina was cold.
Yes, the Andes.
I never
sure.
associated that.
That's interesting.
I didn't Uber driver.
Welcome back to DBL. Did y'all hear about this? A house in Pittsburgh suburb, excuse me, I got excited, exploded over the weekend. There it is. You see it? This doorbell camera caught the moment the house went up in a giant fireball. The two other homes were also destroyed in the blast. Sadly, 5 people died. Local authorities checked for a gas leak, determined the system had been, quote, operating as designed. Investigators are saying it could take months to figure out what exactly happened. My first thought, and I'm not kidding, was an accelerant or a bomb. It's that big of an explosion that it would take something like that, or like meth or something.
But an accelerant.
Look at that.
Doesn't an accelerant just help the flames travel faster? That is an
That looks like a bomb.
explosion.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. I know people will go to, maybe they were making something illegal somewhere around there, but I never thought a meth explosion would look like that. That really did look like there was C4 or some kind of, obviously not an expert, that looked like a real bomb.
Yeah,
Explosion. That's what that looked like. That didn't look like an explosion that turned into a fire.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Yes, thoughts and prayers, of
I think
course,
that's
to
a
those
fair answer.
that lost their lives, and that we
I've
will
never seen anything like that.
Me neither, and we will keep you updated on that story. But check out this dramatic video from an air show in Michigan, Go Blue, this weekend. 2 pilots are lucky to be alive after their vintage fighter jet exploded mid-air. They were able to eject just before the plane went down in a parking lot. Thankfully, no one was injured. These air shows, I know people love them. They scare me really badly.
Yeah, was everyone okay on the ground?
Everybody was okay. Nobody was injured in the entire situation.
Oof, Lord.
Yeah, I mean, I get you with the air shows.
I know people respect it, but they always make me nervous.
Especially when they do that when they're going the same way towards each other and they just miss it. I don't know. It
scares me.
Trouble.
Well, we're very lucky they are okay. But moving on, finally, police are on the hunt for at least 30 suspects who were caught on camera in a smash and grab robbery. Check this out. Police say a mob of criminals stole up to $100 grand worth of merchandise from a Nordstrom store in Los Angeles on Saturday. You can see several people all in black masks and clothes as they try to run out of the store with all the stolen merchandise. If you worked there, oh God, that guy's trying to take the whole thing. If you worked there, would you do anything?
No. What
It's
you supposed
silent.
to do?
Listen to that.
I think everybody's probably in shock. I mean, I've seen people steal things before.
But like that?
Not like that.
Like the Purge?
I saw a guy stealing from Cherry Creek the other day.
You did?
Yeah, he just ran across, I was like, why is that guy running with a suit? He ran across the street and just went between these 2 buildings. Like he was running, it was like, it caught my eyes like there's a man running with just a tux.
It's so casual these days. Like no one even reacts anymore.
It was silent. That
I
video.
remember I worked retail, and the guy that I worked with was in on an inside job, and the idiot left right after the guy came in trying to return the merchandise for cash. And so the manager followed him out and he was busted. It was like this whole big thing. The cops came. It was a very exciting day.
Busted.
Gotcha.
Busted. Coming up on DBL, we're talking with friend of the show. He doesn't have a lot of energy. His name is Jonathan Bennett. All about a blast from the past cooking competition he's hosting coming up next.
EG5 is the newest strain of COVID-19, which scientists have nicknamed Aries. Using these sources, here's what we can verify about it. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, EG5 is one of the many descendants and subvariants of the XBB lineage of Omicron. The CDC estimates Omicron variants account for 99.9% of all current COVID-19 cases. Using CDC data, we can verify that EG5 is the most prevalent strain of COVID-19 in the US right now. As of August 10th, more than 17% of current US COVID-19 cases are the EG5 strain. So, are the symptoms of EG5 the same as other recent strains of COVID-19? Short answer, yes. The World Health Organization says EG5 symptoms appear to be no more severe than other subvariants of Omicron. The American Medical Association says symptoms of Omicron subvariants typically last between 5 to 7 days and include a cough, fever, chills, fatigue, aches, sore throat, nausea, and diarrhea. But what about boosters? Will the updated vaccines coming this fall be effective against EG5? Scientists don't know yet because there's not enough research. But here's what we can verify about the new boosters. The Food and Drug Administration says the Pfizer and Moderna boosters will protect against the XBB lineage of the Omicron variant. And while EG5 is part of the XBB lineage, the vaccines were developed prior to its rise. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Welcome back. Jonathan Bennett's not a regular host. He's a cool host. And he's back with a new cooking competition that delivers a taste of the past. Earlier, we chatted with him. Take a look.
So you're hosting Battle of the Decades, where chefs use gadgets from the past to create their meals. And after seeing them use these retro items, which one do you want in your own kitchen?
That's good.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what's so fun about this show is that it has so much nostalgia, right? Like, we grew up using the Magic Bullet and the Snoopy snow cone machine and the Easy Bake Oven and the George Foreman grill. Like, we grew up using all those things, and to watch these chefs have to use them, like these new school chefs who've never seen one before, it's so much fun. But in my kitchen, I mean, I'm a big fan of the George Foreman grill. Yeah. Like, I hadn't used it in forever. And then when we were shooting the show, I was like, this is actually amazing. I forgot how great this was. And I went out and got one, and now we use it all the time. I mean, grilled cheese, no problem.
I was going to say paninis.
Absolutely.
Yep. That was my favorite. But we have to give a little shout out because one of our favorite chefs in Denver, we've all had his cooking, is on your show.
Shout out Dre.
To, yes, Chef Cool Dre.
Yeah.
That is the homie.
Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how he does, but I definitely think you should watch that episode, okay?
Ooh.
But it's a very good episode.
Ooh,
awesome. He's the real deal.
Ooh, that was a nice cliffhanger there.
Yeah.
Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah.
So this show has so many favorite foods from different decades. Somebody mentioned that Snoopy snow cone machine. It brought me right back.
Yes.
What food brings you back to your childhood, gives you nostalgia?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's something that we use on Battle of the Decades in one of the episodes that literally brought me back to my childhood, and that was Hamburger Helper.
Oh yeah,
I grew up on Hamburger Helper, and I still love it to this day. Like, if someone offers me Hamburger Helper, I'm gonna eat it because I think it's delicious. Because it's that nostalgic taste, that we grew up with, where you can't really explain why you like it. It's just like part of your childhood, and that's what I love about this show. Is there's going to be these great conversations that are going to happen in living rooms across the country where parents are going to watch with their kids, and they're going to tell them about these, old school things that they used to do growing up and eating. But then the other side of the show is the viral food sensations. So the flip side is we take the new school chefs and they have to tackle the viral food sensations, whether it's the Japanese souffle pancakes or the accordion potatoes that are viral on TikTok. They have to tackle those challenges as well. So I can't wait for like one of the parents to be sitting there going, what's an accordion potato? And the kid just be like, oh my gosh, Mom, how do you not know what an accordion potato is? So I think it's going to spark a lot of fun conversations.
Absolutely. We got to talk to another show you host because you're killing it. Halloween Wars season 13 premieres soon, and I found out you actually met your husband because of this show.
Cutie
so talk
patootie.
to us. How did this go down?
I mean, okay, well, how did it go down, Al? Well, you know me, Al. You've met me. I'm very subtle. So when I see something I like,
wallflower.
When I see something I like, I just go for it. I met him promoting my show on his show, Celebrity Page TV, that he was hosting. I came on to promote Halloween Wars, and we met on set. So like, I literally fell in love with him the moment I met him, and I have Halloween Wars to thank for my marriage.
Hey, Jonathan, what has been your favorite Halloween costume you've ever worn?
I dressed up as Elphaba from Wicked.
That was my favorite too for you.
Because, I mean, come on. Because, I mean, but it's Elphaba Act 1, so that way this year I can do Elphaba Act 2 when she becomes a darker witch and she has, you know, the darker outfit. So we did Elphaba and Fiyero Act 1. This Halloween, hopefully I'll do Act 2.
Defying gravity.
Okay, Jonathan, we got 30 seconds left, but before we let you go, have you gotten your friend Lindsay Lohan a present for her new baby? And if not, what you getting her?
I have not. I messaged her and said, congratulations. I'm so happy for her. She deserves all this love and family that she's creating. Like, she just deserves all of it. So I'm so happy for her. I don't know what I'd get the baby. I mean, maybe I'll just get a George Foreman grill, right? Because you start him off early. He can be making, you know, grilled cheese and paninis at age 4.
That's hysterical. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us today. The whole audience on YouTube is saying this is such a genius idea, and they're having conversations about it too, about TV dinners and stuff like that.
Ooh.
DBL Nation, check out Battle of the Decades on August 16th, and do not miss Halloween Wars September 17th. Catch both shows, on the Food Network. Again, it is lovely to see you, my friend.
You
light up our entire show. We will be right back. Thanks again, Jonathan.
Good luck, guys.
This post has been circulating on social media. It's a warning to dog owners that some types of peanut butter include xylitol, a sweetener that can be deadly for dogs. So does some peanut butter contain xylitol, an ingredient that can harm your pets? Let's verify. Our source is NC State University, a publication from the North American veterinarian community, and Audrey Weistrek, CEO of Pet Folk Veterinarian and Urgent Care. According to NC State University, xylitol is a naturally occurring sugar alcohol in birch trees. It's extracted into a white powder and tastes similar to sugar, so it's commonly used as a low-calorie substitute. While it's not harmful for humans, dogs are a different story.
Dogs do not have the ability to process that chemical compound. And so what ends up happening is they have a severe drop in blood sugar and can cause long-term damage to their liver.
As it's added into more foods, the number of xylitol poisoning cases has increased in canines. A study published by NAVC shows from 2002 to 2015, there was a significant rise in emergency calls.
It is exponentially increased over the last couple of years. And like we said earlier, I think the crazy thing is people don't even realize that some products are sugar-free.
Weistrek says xylitol is found in gum, candy, and even some peanut butter. The common peanut butter brands that include xylitol as an ingredient: Go Nuts, Nuts and More Peanut Butter, and P28 Foods formulated high-protein peanut butter spread.
Checking the labels, and I think that the buzzword that people are going to probably see more often than not is the sugar-free. Sugar-free usually means that there's a sugar substitute.
Weistrek says, in general, regular peanut butter is safe for dogs, but check the ingredients before giving it to your pets. So we can verify that, yes, some peanut butter has xylitol in it, and that's harmful to dogs. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
Cruise control is a popular feature in most cars to help a long road trip fly by. Verify viewer Tracy reached out to ask whether cruise control can also help reduce the amount of money she spends on gas. So Tracy, let's verify. Can cruise control help save money on gas? Our sources are the U.S. Department of Energy, the Oak Ridge National Laboratory, and Natural Resources Canada. The DOE says cars use the most energy when accelerating, which is why stop-and-go traffic is especially inefficient for our mileage. Even smaller changes in your speed while driving on the highway can use more gas, according to our sources. Cruise control helps you maintain a constant speed, which is more fuel efficient. A study by Natural Resources Canada found that frequently varying your speed just 6 miles an hour increases your fuel use by 20%. You'll save the most money on long, flat roads in good weather. So, yes, cruise control can help save money on gas. Natural Resources Canada says there are a few situations where cruise control is less efficient, like when going downhill because of gravity's pull. You should also avoid using cruise control during heavy rain and in icy conditions so you can react quickly to an emergency. With Your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Getting older is something we can't avoid, but it is something that can happen without all the aches and the pains many people complain about. It's time for some joint and muscle support, brought to you by Omega XL. Experts recommend at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week, along with strength and balance exercises. This will offset the natural decline in flexibility and balance that comes with age. Omega XL has improved the lives of millions of consumers, supported by 30 years of clinical research. Omega XL's powerful and proven benefits have transformed the lives of athletes, celebrities, and dedicated daily users. So call 1-800-725-2612 or visit omegaxl.com for more information. My knees are starting to hurt, starting to creak like a door.
From what?
Just walking.
Right.
DBL's new every day. Creak, creak. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.